At 22 years old, I built a multi-six-figure Amazon FBA business. But my story looks nothing like you see on Instagram. What's going on, guys? My name's Nico Pierce. I'm 22 years old. I run a multi-six-figure Amazon FBA business. And over the past few years, my life has changed very, very fast. Right now, I'm out here in Joshua Tree, got the house, got the setup, and I figured it was finally time to sit down and tell you guys my full story. Not the highlight reel, not the Instagram version, but the real timeline of how this actually all happened. And before we even get into this, I need to clear something up. I am absolutely not perfect by any means. I've failed countless and countless times before any of this actually started working. Growing up, I wasn't the smartest kid. I wasn't the most talented. I wasn't the one that people would expect to build a business. But what I did have was the courage to keep going even when things weren't going right. So if you've ever felt behind or doubted yourself, this video is for you. Let's run it back to the beginning. So on October 4th of 2003, that was the day that I was born. And honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that I came from the trenches or I had it super hard. I'm very blessed to say that I did grow up in a very nice household. That doesn't mean that everything was just handed to me. Growing up, I went to a private school from preschool all the way to first grade. It's actually funny to say, they kicked me out of the school. And the reason for that being is because I wasn't smart enough. When I was in kindergarten, my teachers thought I was like stupid. And honestly, I don't care, but it's just something that's funny to look back at. From there, I went to an elementary school from second grade all the way to fifth grade, and then from there I went to a middle school from sixth grade all the way up to eighth grade. And so when I was done with middle school, I went to high school. And early on during high school, that's when COVID happened. So the high school that I was actually going to at the time closed down because of COVID. So once I actually graduated middle school, that's when I started getting high school. And when I got into high school, that's when I entered the crash out phase. And what I mean by the crash out phase, I just started hanging out with the wrong group of people. I started smoking weed every day. I got super addicted to vaping, and I was just all around doing bad shit. I didn't really think much of it at the time because I just wanted to live my life and I thought it was cool. My friends were doing it and they were fine, so I was doing it too. Eventually, my parents told me that I needed to get a job. And let me tell you guys, that's when I started working every single 9 to 5 possible. I was working as a car detailer. I was shoveling dirt for $16 an hour. I was working as a maintenance worker at an apartment complex. I've done door-to-door sales. I've done literally everything. Selling life insurance, you name it. And of course, I always had my little side hustles. So I always had that hustler mentality. And the older that I got and the more money I started to make, the more I wanted to start my own business. And from the start, for whatever reason, I always loved reselling. I loved being able to buy something for X and flipping it for a profit for Y and just seeing that profit in between. I don't know why, it was just addicting to me. And one day I was scrolling on Instagram and I see one of my old buddies that I literally haven't talked to in forever. And he's posting this thing talking about how he's selling on Amazon. Maybe around the time he was probably doing around $30,000 to $40,000 in sales a month. So he was doing pretty well. And I started asking him questions. I'm like, dude, what is this that you're doing? And from that point, he told me, dude, me and my buddy are selling on Amazon. Like, you gotta try this. From there, I started asking him all sorts of questions about it. He started breaking down the entire business to me and exactly how it works. And I was extremely interested. At the time, I was selling life insurance and I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. And plus, it just didn't work out. So I know I needed a change. And from that point, a month goes on and I still haven't started the business, frankly, because I didn't know where to start. But one day, one of my friends called me up and he said, yo, I need to buy a TV. Can you come with me? Can I use your truck? And of course, I had a truck at the time. So, all right, sure, I'll help you. So we end up at this wholesale TV outlet in LA. We walk in there, the guy's got a bunch of TVs, and the guy just started showing us these products. One of the products that he showed us was this TV box. He told me, he's like, if you guys want, I'll sell them to you at $180 a piece. They sell for like $315 on Amazon. And I was like, wait, really? That right there was my call. I started doing some more digging on the whole Amazon FBA thing, and I looked up the product he was trying to sell me, and he was right. It was selling for $315 on Amazon. Mind you, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know really anything about Amazon. I don't know anything about softwares or anything to this point. So I bought 10 units of the product. I spent $1,800 and I took the product straight home. From there, I created my Amazon seller account and I listed the product. And nothing really happened. I was getting no sales. I tried listing them on eBay. I tried listing them on Facebook Marketplace and nothing. But after 4 days, I got my first sale out of nowhere on Amazon. I run upstairs. I'm like, Mom, I got my first sale. And she was like, no way. She's like, how much did you make? I'm like, $100 profit after all fees. Another 20 minutes go by. I get another sale. I tell my mom again, Mom, I got another sale. And she's like freaking out. At the end of the day, I think I sold out of all 10 units. And I was freaking out. My first day selling on Amazon, I did $4,000 in sales and probably close to $1,000 profit. From there, I went back and I bought more from the guy. And I kept just going and going and going. I would say probably close to my third replenish, I got hit with an IP complaint. If you guys don't know what an IP complaint is, it's basically the brand telling you that you are not allowed to sell their product on Amazon, and it can also affect your account health. So I had no idea what that was. I didn't know how to avoid it at the time. And on my third replenish, I had all this inventory that I literally couldn't move. And that left me stuck for a long time because I didn't know what to do. My first product, I kind of just got lucky. And that was around the time that I graduated high school and my parents were forcing me to go to college because I didn't have anything that was technically set yet. And I remember the first day I got into my college dorm room, I told myself, I don't care what it takes. I'm either going to graduate, I'm going to be set with my Amazon business, or I'm going to drop out within 3 years and I'm going to be good. I always held that to myself. From there, I realized that I needed more help. So what did I do? I got a mentor, someone to actually teach me the business properly. And he told me that if he was going to mentor me, I needed to pay him $5,000. And I didn't have $5,000 at the time, but I had another car that I could sell. So what did I do? I sold the car within a week, $6,000. I had a $700 credit card bill, paid him the $5,000. I paid it off my credit card. I had like $300 to my name at the time. I'm not going to sit here and say that I got scammed, but I definitely wasn't delivered what I was promised. And I was kind of stuck figuring out the business on my own. And at that point, I was going through a really hard time mentally. I was in a really toxic relationship. I wasn't going to school, so my parents weren't happy with me. Amazon just wasn't working out. I'll never forget, there was this one day where I came home from my college dorm room to like see my mom. Me and my family are going to do something. And my mom is just so upset with me because I'm just doing everything wrong that I just like completely dropped college. I actually started locking in. I actually learned how to do the business properly. I started sourcing products every day. I started building connections. And then from that point on, I got offered my first real wholesale deal. And that was a bunch of Kleenex to sell on Amazon. I bought 10 pallets of it and I stuffed it in my dad's garage. And of course, at that point in time, we're about a year and a half into the whole Amazon journey. So I know the business pretty well by now. Anyways, I list the product up. They just start selling like crazy. Every 3 minutes, I was getting another notification on my phone that I sold another unit. I could not tell you guys how happy I was. Just even seeing the truck pull up with all that inventory to my house, knowing that it's about to rip, I thought that I fucking made it, man. I was literally so happy after everything I went through. It is literally all I wanted. I swear that was probably one of the happiest days of my life. But probably a week and a half in, I sold out of the inventory. And from there, I got my second wholesale deal. And that product was selling like crazy. So my second wholesale purchase was these Gatorade bottles. Like the ones that the football teams use, the squeeze ones. They fill them up with Gatorade, water, all that stuff. So I was selling those, and at the time, they were selling around 8,000 units a month. So this product was ripping. With that product alone, I think I did around $25,000 in sales in 2 weeks, and I made around $8,000 profit. So at that point in time, I started making really good money. And from there, I just started ripping wholesale deal after wholesale deal after wholesale deal. And my sales started growing all the way to $30,000, $40,000 in sales a month. And around that time, I started posting on social media about what I was doing with Amazon because I thought it was cool. I remember the first video that I posted about Amazon on Instagram absolutely blew up. It was a video of all the 10 pallets of Kleenex in my garage, the truck dropping them off, the sales, everything. People just started spamming me with DMs. People started asking me if I could teach them. I told them, I don't want to teach people, to be honest. And then I started having close friends reach out to me asking for me to teach them. I was like, all right, screw it. I remember the first person that I taught, one of my old friends, Tyler, still super tight to this day, one of my really good friends. He texts me and he's like, dude, I've been seeing this Amazon stuff that you're doing. I just got out of college, I'm working a job, I'm not making that much money. Can you help me start this up? I was like, fuck it, man, let's run it. Within 2 weeks, we found Tyler's first product and he starts ripping sales like crazy. At the time, he found this wholesale deal, all these trash bags that he was selling on Amazon, made $2,500 profit his first weekend selling on Amazon. And I don't know what it was, but it just made me feel so good about myself. Because when I actually help someone and give them the blueprint, it was so much easier for them than, of course, me trying to figure it out on my own. And of course, Tyler started posting his results on social media. I started posting his results on social media. All these people were asking us, how do we do this? How do we do this? So of course I started teaching more people. And from that point on, that's when I created my own company to help young entrepreneurs do the same thing. And I decided to call the company Ecom Hustlers University. From there, I started scaling the business to 50, 60, 70K a month. So now we're probably 2 years into the whole Amazon journey. And I decided to fully drop out of college. So that one promise that I made to myself when I first moved in my dorm room to actually drop out of college, we're able to do it. Around that time, I started getting a ton of recognition on social media. And I was actually invited out to New York to have my company's logo on New York Times Square, and I was blown away. Every day that came closer to the day, I was picturing the logo right there on Times Square. So of course, me and my buddies were flown out to New York, and I had my company's logo right there on Times Square. One of the coolest experiences ever, and one of my greatest accomplishments, I'll say. From that point on, I continued to scale the business more and more. Towards the end of 2025, I was doing maybe around $70,000 or $80,000 a month in sales. And one of my biggest goals was to hit $100K a month in sales. I remember in the middle of November, I was getting around $70,000 in sales at that point, and I knew I had to lock in. I bought a ton of inventory, I created a huge buy sheet, and we started ripping all December. On Black Friday alone in December, I did $22,000 in sales, my biggest day ever. And I did $52K in a week. And of course, finished off the month of December with over $100,000 in sales. One of my biggest goals accomplished. And not only that, guys, I've been able to grow a community of over 100 students that have been able to make sales on their Amazon stores that change their life with the business. And at the end of the day, that's what means the most to me. And now, guys, we're here in the new year, and a lot of stuff has changed in my life and in my business now. I have virtual assistants that source all my wholesale suppliers and source all my product. I have an employee that takes care of all my shipping and orders and customer service. And overall, I've been able to free up more of my time, take trips like this with my friends to actually sit down here and talk with you guys, and overall just enjoy life more while my Amazon business works for me. I will say, guys, it is truly crazy how fast your life can change if you literally just stick to one thing and put in the work every single day. You guys now know this didn't come easy. I'm not special or super smart by any means, but the one thing that I have is the courage to stick to something until I do it. And here we are now. This is literally the result of just putting in the work every day and sticking to it. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, then you're exactly the type of person that I make this content for. Like I said earlier, this wasn't the highlight reel. This wasn't the Instagram version. This is the real timeline of how everything actually happened. And the biggest thing I want you to understand is this: you do not have to be the smartest person in the room to build something real. You just have to stay in the game longer than most people are willing to. I failed a lot. I doubted myself a lot, and there were multiple moments where this could have easily not worked out. But consistency, patience, and actually taking action, that's what started to separate everything over time. My goal with this channel moving forward is simple. I'm showing you the real journey of me personally scaling my Amazon FBA business and helping other people along the way. The wins, the losses, and everything in between. Now, if you've made it to the end of this video, you're probably someone that's been thinking about starting your own Amazon FBA business, but maybe you're not exactly sure where to start, just how I was. I personally want to help you. I have a very limited opportunity for those of you that are serious about taking your Amazon FBA business to the next level. I've personally helped countless people go from 0 to 30, 40, 50, even 80K per month in sales using my exact strategies. So if you want to be the next person to scale using the same blueprint, I put a link below where you guys can apply to work with me one-on-one. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.